I lightened my hair. Yes,
Yeah, you
I
look
did.
good.
I was feeling, I felt like I needed to have like a refresh before I came out there for the Super Bowl. It's a little too blonde, but I didn't tell my hairstylist that because, like when you're there for like 5 hours and they're like pulling on your hair, like it's like I said this in an interview today, like the ugliest a woman can ever feel is sitting there with soaking wet hair with like a cape on you and all you see is this no makeup and you're just like, God, just get me out of here. Anyway, I was there for 6 hours and I was like, let it marinate throughout the weekend. If I don't like it on Monday, I'll go get it a little bit darker. But this is pretty blonde. This is as blonde as I've been for a while. And I told her I said either we're going brunette, we're going blonde. We're done with this like in between thing. And she picked blonde.
You never went to you've never gone black, like jet black?
I have been very, very dark, but never would I go black. I've been what
you talking about your hair? Hair? Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What are you talking about?
Skin. Like tan. What else would I be talking about? You seriously don't understand the reference? All right.
No, of course I didn't understand the reference. Can you please explain the reference to me just one time so like I don't have to get it from Twitter in 2 days from now?
No, I thought you were just talking about being overly tanned. There's nothing else to that.
I am
What's
so
with
lost.
you? What is with you?
You make these references sometimes that I just don't know. I'm like, it is like so far over my head.
Tough start to the show for Kelly.
Always.
And me.
Always.
And me. I think your hair looks fine. I was annoyed with you, though. You wouldn't do a video for me over the weekend because you said you looked like shit because you didn't have your hair and makeup team. Are you kidding me? I'm sure you look
My
fine.
hair and makeup team? No, I just didn't bring it with me. And it hit anyway, so you're fucking welcome. I literally was driving up to Hillbilly, Florida with 2 dogs, a 6-month-old baby, my niece, her fiance, and Brett. And you call me and you're like, hey, can you do a video? No, as a matter of fact, I cannot. Not right now. I need like just a few days of not having to do my hair and makeup at like once a month. And that was those few days. So you got a winning same game parlay and it was virtually no sweat. It was like basically free money. As free money as I've ever given to our SuperBook listeners before.
I don't appreciate the term hillbilly. I'm from Virginia. So, that you're kind of putting all people into a class there, hillbilly. I'm from McLean, Virginia.
Listen, I love going up to visit, but I also should never wear hair and makeup up there because I was out in like overalls and a sports bra one day. And Brett was like, how many people are going to stare at you? I'm like, oh, it's hillbilly Florida.
I got a few talking points here. Number one, actually, a lot of them are complimentary to you. So you hit a same game parlay on the game. What was it? That sucks, by the way. That fuck sucks.
How many people bet it? Not that many people bet it. It didn't have that much time to live.
It just pisses me off when you win. But what was it?
Well, that's why you should stop asking me to do this because I'm the only one that wins on these. Because if you're going to give me an advantageous parlay, I'm going to take advantage of it. So I had a futures bet on Michigan that I basically decided was square come the title game. I had Michigan at 7-1. I thought they'd beat Texas. And I thought, hey, look, there's
7-1 on Michigan was square.
Excuse me. No. Sorry. Washington. I thought they would beat Texas.
Washington.
Sorry, on Washington. Excuse me. I thought they would beat Texas, right? And then I thought, as the week went along after they did beat Texas, I kind of looked at it and I thought, all right, let me hedge some of this off. So it was a dime to win $7,000. And I was like, all right, now I have a position here where I can come back on Michigan money line. I thought maybe we'd see it minus 190. No, the best I could get was minus $2 here in Florida. So I hammered the minus $2 and was like, cool. Don't care basically what happens in this game. So I was like looking at the total and I really liked the under. So I was like, all right, Michigan money line, the under. And of course, everybody thinks Michael Penix Jr. is just going to air it out. And his line was entirely too high from his player props perspective. And JJ McCarthy doesn't need to air it out because he has Blake Corum. So why would he? And it was
that other kid was number 7 was even better than Corum.
Better than Blake. Yeah.
Great win.
He had the first 2 touchdowns? So the people that bet Blake Corum 2+ touchdowns were probably sweating until right there at the end of the game.
Who has it better than the Harbaugh family? They win the national championship.
Listen,
John Harbaugh is the #1 seed in the playoffs. Who has it better than them?
Probably nobody.
The answer is nobody.
You just get away with cheating, and then you get gifted a gap national championship because Georgia gets left out. I don't know.
This was Harbaugh's chance, right? This was Steve Sarkisian's chance. This was Harbaugh's chance. Harbaugh took advantage of it. He won the national championship. Is he going to go to the NFL? Let's talk about that.
He has to go to the NFL. Do you really want to deal with the NCAA's bullshit from here on out? Right? Like the joke within 7 minutes left in the game was how long before this win gets vacated? I don't know what's going on with the NCAA. Looks like Michigan just said, we don't care. Here's $125 million 10-year contract. You're our guy. We don't care. Right? I mean, they didn't say that, but they might as well have said that. And
if Jim Harbaugh is cheating, then he's the only one in college football and college basketball cheating.
They're all cheating. And as a matter of fact, here, I'm going to tell this story because there's a statute of limitations and I'm sure that's passed. So I don't really give a shit. When I was a cocktail
legally you're sure that it's passed. I don't think you have a good legal opinion. How do you know it's passed?
Yes, because it's been 10 years and the statute of limitations like 7.
How do you know?
ESPN should learn that, by the way. That being said, I had a basketball coach that was in town for NBA Summer League, and I was waiting on an entire group of them. The guy had no idea who I was. 0 idea.
Okay.
And I made a joke about his team cheating. And he said, everyone cheats. And just sipped on his vodka cranberry afterwards. And that was in like 2012, 2013. I mean, like, and I just looked, and now that same guy got caught making unethical phone calls, but the NCAA didn't do anything about it.
I don't like vodka cranberry.
No, it's garbage.
I don't like
it's
vodka.
like the worst thing you can mix with vodka. First of all, vodka not that great of a spirit. It's very neutral, but like mix it with a soda or water or anything besides cranberry, because now I can't even drink cranberry or orange juice because it all tastes like vodka.
Michigan is the national champion. We did pretty well in that game. We had a really good futures position on Michigan. So we were in good shape there. We like.
So unlike your Heisman odds, you did really well.
Oh, we always lose on the Heisman. So
how do you always lose on the Heisman?
You'd have to ask those guys. You'd have to ask like Chase Michelson, Ed Salmons.
You always complain about losing on the Heisman, and I asked you to put the Heisman odds out so I could wager on them when I'm in Las Vegas, and you're like, well, we're just going to lose on it anyway. Why we put it up?
That actually sounds a lot like me, and we are going to lose. Chase, you're going to lose on the Heisman in 2024.
Who do you think is going to win the Heisman in 2024? Because it's not going to be the guy that I bet on. All my dorky friends.
Whoever our team writes bets on is going to win the Heisman. So let's praise Kelly more. Kelly, I got in my notes here. You nailed it on Sunday. You liked the Packers. Okay, you were right. And not only were you right, but the Bears were totally a square dog. And the Packers ended up being our biggest need of the afternoon, and they won. And I had a moment. I realized something about myself on Sunday. I've been underestimating the Packers for months. I think that they suck, and I've just been wrong. And they've been progressively getting better, and Love is getting better, and LaFleur's a good coach. Their defense is good. And Kelly, you nailed it. I mean, what do you have to say for yourself? Tell me.
Was that your best bet? Yes, it was my best bet on every show that I did. And look, it was one of those spots where I thought it was a cheap price. We've historically seen the Packers, yes, with Aaron Rodgers, own this Bears team. I think the Packers might go 3-0 here with quarterbacks. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. I know we criticize them a lot for drafting Jordan Love. I think he's really starting to come into form. Obviously, he buys into Matt LaFleur's bullshit, which is something Aaron Rodgers could never do. And maybe, just maybe, this team might be duking it out with the Detroit Lions for first and second place for a long time.
What about the Bears?
Did you see Bears fans yesterday? These people cannot be happy.
They've got the first pick in the draft.
They've got the first pick in the draft. They get to keep Justin Fields. They all wanted to keep Justin Fields.
No, they're going to take Caleb Williams. There's no way they're going to do that.
Why would you take Caleb Williams? I don't understand it. Why?
You have to take it.
Why?
The Bears are definitely going to take Williams. There's no way they're that dumb. No way.
So you're gonna keep Eberflus, or however you say his last name, right?
The Bears
and they're all pissed off about that.
The Bears could have had C.J. Stroud last season.
No, but eventually they could have Patrick Mahomes. Eventually, you have to stop this nonsense. You know what's wrong with the Bears? They have been on a coaching carousel my entire existence. They have been on a quarterback carousel my entire existence. Do you know what the best when the Bears were? When they stuck with one or two guys. When they had Jay Cutler, they weren't great, but they were good enough.
They were okay. Hey, Rex Grossman got them to a Super Bowl.
Oh my God, Rex Grossman. I forgot he even existed. Wow.
And Rex Grossman was a very fun player. He was a great player to watch no matter what side.
No, he was not. He was like Jameis Winston. Is he going to throw a pick six and just kill your bet?
That's fun.
God, no, I forgot he even existed. Wow.
You didn't. So you nailed the Packer game. You didn't say anything to me. I picked the Raiders. So I was talking to Brett, and he told me that I put out this video on Nestlin with Sam Panayotovich, and we got to make a pick at the end of the video. Brett texted me, and he's like, hey, just letting you know, Kelly played your video, fast forwarded to the part where you made the pick, and then shut it off. It's 3 minutes long. You don't have 3 minutes?
Yeah, but I know you're going to give it out at the end. This is why you got to mix it up, JM. You can't be just like giving out best bets at the last 30 seconds. So why would I listen to the rest of it? I don't have time. I just wanted the pick, and you're not going to text it to me. So why not just scroll to the end?
You didn't say anything. You didn't even thank me for that one. Raiders.
Yeah, because I had the Broncos over 8.5 wins. Remember when we did the first video in Westgate? So yeah, I was a little frustrated, and I was like, I really don't want to lay 2.5 here with this Raiders team when I need the Broncos to win the game. Mm-hmm. It kind of, those two things don't really go together. I can't believe you guys did a great job on your, well, at least the ones that I bet. I had 6 different needs down to week 18. That I knew one of them was dead. The Vikings obviously was all but dead. It was like a 3% chance, but it was kind of crazy. Eagles. Wow. Can't believe I cashed Eagles under 11.5 wins. That was nuts. Jags plus 280, not to make the playoffs. Let's go. That was the biggest score. That was a good one. But a lot of the other ones had cashed, because I did all 32 teams. I gave out a pick or an opinion at least. I didn't obviously bet 32 of them, but there was a significant amount that, we did social media videos over. I could not believe how many came down to week 18, which tells me that maybe you need to be nice to your risk team and say, hey, guys, you guys did a good job here.
No, that's out of the question. My season bet in the NFL, Atlanta. I hate Atlanta. So I don't – that was a miserable bet. It wasn't fun.
Can I dump red paint or whatever Sammy P had to do on your head when I'm there?
Yeah, sure. There was nothing fun about it. I lost money. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't get any laughs out of it.
When Arthur Smith got fired, you didn't enjoy it?
No, not really. I don't like him.
That's like your solace. Like, screw you. I didn't win my season win total, but at least this guy got fired.
He's still a billionaire.
No, that's Arthur Blank.
No,
that's the owner.
No. Arthur Smith's dad founded FedEx. Arthur Smith is a billionaire. He's the son of a billionaire.
What?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I had no idea. So why is he working then? Like, go work at FedEx and pretend to be a CEO.
I have no earthly idea why he's working instead of going the traditional Hunter Biden route. But he worked his way up to being an NFL head coach.
Time out. I have to interject here.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Only because I see all these ridiculous things about how everybody was upset that Aaron Rodgers and McAfee and all this other shit. So like now I'm going to just hijack the show. Did you hear the all-time reporter question they asked Hunter Biden?
I did. I know what you're talking about. I think I sent you and Ariel and Sam the video.
Did you send it to the group? Because I must have missed it. Or maybe that's where I saw it. I about peed my pants laughing. I was like, this is real. They're asking the president's son what his favorite type of crack is. I did not know there was multiple types of crack. See, I'm learning something every single day on this show.
I didn't know that either.
Arthur Smith, also a billionaire.
Let me
I was like,
quickly
talking about the
get
owner's
us
a
out of
billionaire.
this.
Huh?
No. Arthur Smith's dad is Fred Smith. I'm pretty sure it's his dad. Fred Smith, founder of FedEx. Other notes from the week: Eagles no-showed in New York against the Giants, and the big game was the night game. Buffalo rallies. They win the game. They win the division against a very banged-up Miami team. Pretty good weekend
Plus
for us.
290. Plus 290 went down the drain. That would have been very nice. Yeah. That was probably one of my bigger bets, and it looked good for the entire season up until week 18.
Well, I really think what happened to Miami on
Buffalo.
I think their injuries just caught up to them. Miami had so many. By the end of the year, Miami had so many guys hurt, so many guys out, and look, they're in a really tough spot going to Arrowhead on Saturday night to play Kelly's favorite team, the Chiefs. Kelly's is a Travis Kelce person, a Taylor Swift person. Kelly likes the Chiefs.
Yeah, she's going to be there for all those using that as their handicap.
Do you have Peacock? Do you have a Peacock subscription?
So I told you I got free Peacock through Xfinity down here. They gave me free Peacock for 24 months or something ridiculous. So I took advantage of it.
I already have Peacock because that's where I watch the EPL. That's where I watch Liverpool. So I don't even care. I already have an account. That game being on Peacock means nothing to me. I already have a Peacock account. Nothing.
All the old people that have to somehow download it, I'm probably going to have to go over to grandma's house and download it on the TV and type in my login so that she can watch a game that I don't really care about.
Let's do, so there's 6 wild card games, super wild card weekend. Are you want to attack these one at a time? Do you want to lead off with your best bet? What do you, you're the star.
No, go ahead. I'm just going to mute myself. I'm going to sit back, relax, and take some notes.
No. So the first game is Saturday afternoon, Cleveland -2 at Houston. We had this game at 2.5, 20 on Cleveland. We had some really sharp money on Houston. Houston, when it was plus 2.5 even, got some sharp money. Now, you look, the whole market is down to 2 now. And the big news today, Denzel Ward, Cleveland's Pro Bowl corner, got hurt in practice. So he's listed as questionable for Saturday. I don't know how you could not be impressed with C.J. Stroud. That after Indianapolis tied the game, I really thought they were going to win on Saturday night, and Stroud made several throws to get them down the field. The Colts probably should have won coming back, but that's not C.J. Stroud's fault. He was on the sidelines. He played awesome in that game. That kid is awesome.
Yeah, so I love C.J. Stroud. He's made me a ton of money this year.
He's awesome. You talk about the Bears passing on Caleb Williams after they passed on C.J. Stroud last season. I don't agree with that.
I just don't see it, though. Here's my problem. What is so great about at Ohio State? More so than I see it with Caleb Williams. Yeah.
Okay,
this is the thing you have to realize with NFL quarterbacks. It is not Caleb Williams, very athletic, no problem. You have got to want to win. You have got to have a leadership mentality. I have not seen that from Caleb Williams. Not one time. I have never seen him show an ounce of grit. I have never seen him have any ounce of humility or take any of the losses on himself. Have you watched the press conference where he said, "Hey guys, that loss was on me"?
He was pretty gritty in the Pac-12 title game against Utah when he got hurt. I was at that game last season at Allegiant Stadium. So and he's a fellow Gonzaga man, so obviously I'm going to defend him.
I guess I just can't get over him crying in the stands to his mom instead of, being there with his teammates in defeat. Those are the types of character attributes that you would think that NFL owners and head coaches would look for. I don't know. Yes, the Bears are going to take them, and then do what? Use Justin Fields as trade bait or...
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And then he's going to go be somewhere great at somewhere else.
And here's another
if you put Justin Fields behind a better O-line, he's way better than where he was in Chicago.
Another factor is if they draft Caleb Williams, they'll have Caleb Williams on a rookie contract. Justin Fields' contract's about to come up. NFL teams have this window where their quarterback's on a rookie deal where they can build a roster around the guy. I mean, look at Kansas City's roster now that they had to pay Mahomes all that money. this is not the team that Mahomes was playing with at the beginning of his career, right? It's because they're paying him all this money, which they obviously had to do. But you have this window where your QB's on a rookie deal. The Bears can reset that window by drafting Caleb Williams. I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, the best thing for
Don't you think, and this is just, maybe I'm just crazy because you don't take a wide receiver, but like, why wouldn't you trade to 3 for something else? Like, right. I don't fully understand the intricacies, and that's apparent. Trade with who's the number 3? Who gets the number 3 pick?
I think it's New England.
Okay. So you trade with New England, who definitely needs a quarterback. Let them have the number 1 pick. Take Marvin Harrison Jr., because you need a weapon, or a really solid O-lineman.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you have some more wiggle room for another pick. I don't know. I think that Justin Fields is going to put you in a position to win more football games. And that's what people care about. You're looking at the long game that the Bears have been losing for forever. And that's my problem. At some point in time, you've got to stop the rebuild nonsense.
But how high of a ceiling does Justin Fields really have?
I don't know.
I don't know. But he's been in the league for 3 years.
How high of a ceiling does Caleb Williams really have? I don't know.
Caleb Williams was the number 1 high school player.
Okay, that's fine. But we see every single year, we see quarterbacks that are a bust. Justin Fields is okay. CJ Stroud is an anomaly.
Well, you just said how high of a ceiling does he have? Well, he was the number 1 high school player in the country, and then he won the Heisman Trophy. So his ceiling is really, really high, actually.
Is it, though, in the NFL? Because we're asking him to go from high school to college to the NFL.
Yeah.
He looks like, to me, one of those guys that within 2 years, defensive coordinators are going to have a ton of tape on him. They're going to be able to exploit him. He's going to get manhandled behind that crappy Bears offensive line. And then what, you're going to get him killed?
You're a hater, man.
I'm not a hater.
Yes, you are.
I want the Bears to do well. Bears fans hate me. I just want them to be happy. And they're not going to be if they keep this up.
I don't think Bears fans are capable of being happy. I don't think that
That's why I said, are they going to ever be happy?
I think they don't. I think they like being miserable, like talking about the double doink. And I don't think the Bears fans really want to be successful.
There's a country song called Miserable, and I always attribute it to Brett, Ariel, and I always say, like, if you're not happy unless you're miserable. And I don't understand that because I don't live in that world, right? Like, I also don't let the Broncos really dictate my mood as much as others do. But I, as a Broncos fan, could see someone like the Broncos drafting a Caleb Williams, drafting a Drake May, because that's in the position that they're at. They just said, Russell Wilson's not our guy. Well, you just had Justin Fields be your guy. They would have absolutely won 8 games, and I would have lost that futures bet had Justin Fields been healthy all season long. Okay, so we're done arguing about the Bears and my lack of draft knowledge.
Okay, let's go to the next game.
Okay.
All right, it's enough about the Bears. Nobody gives a shit. The late game Saturday is Miami and Kansas City. So they're saying it's going to be like historically cold at this game. Did you read that?
Yeah, the coldest I've ever been at a game was Arrowhead, and like 1 degree warmer was Soldier Field. It is freezing at Arrowhead this weekend. It is going to suck balls.
What would you have to be paid? You're rich, so you're a bad example. But what would somebody have to pay you to go to that game? Like, there's no way.
I've been to that game. I went as a Broncos fan during
when it was this cold?
It was cold. John Murray, I had to go to Bass Pro Shop in Kansas, and I bought head-to-toe hunting gear so I could be orange, like the Broncos. And that was the way I went to the kids section and bought clearance hunting gear to wear to the game. It was ungodly cold. Like, the coldest I've ever been. Like, couldn't feel my fingers, couldn't feel my toes. Why you wouldn't have to pay me? I mean, this game I don't give a shit about, so I'm not going to go. But if it was like the Broncos versus the Chiefs, which it wouldn't be because whatever. But if it was, yeah, I would go.
I went to a USA El Salvador World Cup qualifying match in Columbus, Ohio 2 years ago. That was cold.
Yeah.
But
outdoors?
Oh my God, it was so cold. But the coldest for me was West Virginia Pitt backyard brawl in 2005 in Morgantown. It was on Thanksgiving night. It was fucking cold. It was really cold. Miami, Kansas City. We saw really sharp money over 43.5. Now we're 44.5. I thought that was interesting because Miami's got a lot of guys out on offense. Kansas City's offense has really struggled for a lot of the season, and it's supposed to be cold and windy. So,
okay, so here's what you have to remember about Arrowhead. The way it's shaped, like the closer you get down to the field, it's not that windy.
Okay.
It's like a weird, it's kind of the way. So it's, okay, so we were freezing at the tailgate, like freezing. I'll find a picture of me. I have like a mask before we had to wear masks because like I had like a ski mask because I was so cold.
Were you afraid of COVID or was it for help for
COVID didn't exist then?
Well, still
I'll find the funny picture and then JH can insert it into the show. But all jokes aside, I was like a marshmallow man, but in orange hunting gear. But inside the stadium, we were like 40-yard line-ish, like 5 rows up. It was not that cold.
Well, I still wouldn't go to the game.
And the field is heated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they have heated seats. Like, you know, I'm talking about the heated benches. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I also like the over.
Do you think it's weird? Because Ed Salmons made fun of me for this. When the games came out, I said I thought it was weird that they're playing AFC, 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 and then NFC, NFC, NFC. Do you think that's strange? The first 3 games are in the AFC. No?
I think that's interesting. Weird. I don't know if it's strange, but I didn't quite catch that. No.
Let's go to Sunday morning. Pittsburgh is +10 at Buffalo. I don't have a lot to say on this game. No TJ Watt for the Steelers. We're at 35.5 on the total.
Yeah, and that's only going down. That's only going one way. Nobody's betting the over.
This is supposed to be another big weather game in Buffalo. Gotta think the Bills will take care of business here. Most of our tickets are on the Steelers, but that's not a big surprise. People don't want to lay 10. People don't want to lay 10 points when the total's 35.
Double-digit favorites in the wild card round are like 10-1 against the spread.
People don't want to lay 10 points.
It's Bills or nothing for me.
Here's another popular dog in the afternoon, Green Bay. So not really shocking. Green Bay, they've been bet down from 7.5 to 7. They're at Dallas. High total here, 50.5. I heard Jair Alexander got hurt today for Green Bay. So we'll see. I mean, Green Bay's been playing really well. I don't trust myself. My Green Bay opinion sucks.
My Green Bay opinion doesn't suck. My Dallas Cowboys opinion doesn't suck.
No.
I think this is an easy, just tease the Cowboys. They win the game.
Well, I think the best bet this week, and I think it's going to be really popular, is the Texas teaser. You take Houston, you go up through 3 and 7. You take Dallas, although Dallas is now down to -7.
I know, but I did that
no
already
longer cutting through 7 and 3. But I do think that's going to be a really popular teaser.
That's
Houston
the most terrifying thing. When a teaser comes off 7.5 to 7, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to lose outright because games don't land 1.
No, they don't. Not that I'm aware of, at least. I'm not sure that I've seen one of those. Not much there in terms of sharp money, but this game, so the late game Sunday, the Sunday night game is generally the game that has the most volume on it because of all the weekend parlays. And then the Monday night game's crap, right? So most of the parlays will go to
Why? That's
Sunday.
My best bet. I like the Monday night game. I don't think it's crap.
Well, I think it sucks. But anyways, So last year, if the Ravens, your friend Ariel's Ravens, if they could have won against the Bengals in this spot, we would have won a fortune. Tyler Huntley fumbles inside the 1-yard line. The Bengals return it for a touchdown. They win the game. We've got a lot of money on the Rams, and it's sharp money. They took +3.5, -110. They took +3 even, and the public is on the Rams. So it's like almost 70% of the tickets are on the Rams. So I guess right now we'll need Detroit.
I like the
a lot
over.
A lot of money on the Rams. And what a revenge spot for Jared Goff. I mean, this guy.
Nobody talks about. They all talk about Matthew Stafford. Nobody's talking about Jared Goff.
This team just said,
for
Goff.
Fuck you. Go to Detroit. See you later.
Stafford got to move to LA and won the Super Bowl. What does he want revenge for? Goff
was
the first pick in the draft. He took them to a Super Bowl, which they lost. Then he gets shipped to
Detroit. That was the worst Super Bowl ever.
That game was not very good. He gets shipped to Detroit. His old team wins the Super Bowl without him. This is the revenge spot for Jared Goff, not for Matthew Stafford.
I agree with you.
I think we'll need the Lions. And then you teased it. Give me your best bet. Monday night, Philly and Tampa Bay. That's a playoff game. What's your best bet of the week?
Of course, it's a playoff game. It's the Bucks. How can I not bet against the Eagles one last time and their demise? I took the +3. I took the +120. And I probably could have got a better money line, but that's what it was here in Florida because, well, that's the Bucks. And so they're going to assume that they're going to get Bucks money and I'm going to get a crappy money line. But I digress. Baker Mayfield, while albeit that week 3 game was rather frustrating. I saw it in person. Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions, but the Bucks offense couldn't get anything going. I think this Bucks offense is really starting to click. I think they're going to be able to get the running game going against this Philly defense. I think they're going to be able to throw against this Philly secondary. Obviously, Philly banged up, including Jalen Hurts. So I like the +3. Very easy, boring handicap.
You mentioned it. Philadelphia went under their win total. I thought Philadelphia should have lost the game in Kansas City on Monday night.
They should have lost that game. They should have lost to the Bills.
They were very lucky to beat Dallas when they played them in Philadelphia. I thought that was probably a touchdown. Buffalo got totally screwed by the refs in that game. I mean, the Eagles could have lost like 8 games.
Yeah. And I was like just getting fisted left and right on every single one of them. And I finally got vindication and it was so easy. I like the Giants plus 5.5, but that was like, thank you. I needed an easy win. I just needed an easy, like, between Michigan and that was just like, easy wins.
Well, I wonder, one thing I couldn't help but wonder this season, watching the Eagles, watching Jalen Hurts, and watching the Colts, Shane Steichen almost sucked a playoff berth out of that ridiculous Indianapolis roster with Gardner Minshew as his quarterback. He called some good plays. That last drive was well coached by Steichen. The players didn't execute. Jonathan Taylor went out of bounds on 2nd down instead of putting his head down and getting the 1st down. And then that 4th and 1 play was a good play call. The guy, bad throw by Minshew, and the guy dropped the ball. Steichen is great.
So I think he's great.
Oh, he's great.
I'm very happy with the result because I laid 1 with the Texans, and I teased
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Philadelphia. They gave Jalen Hurts a huge contract extension. And they watched Shane Steichen walk out the door, and now I don't know about the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles -3 at Tampa Bay. Low energy game. It's a low energy game.
I hope it's a low energy game. Can the Bucks just win like 17-10? I would love that. Low energy. Go to bed early on Monday night. Just kill all the clock. Run. Yeah, I would love that.
We will be doing, starting Saturday at the SuperBook, we'll be doing -105 for all these games on the point spread, not the totals, but the point spreads are all going to be booked. That's misleading. So you call it a -105 promo, but you give yourself the ability to go to -110 even. Same thing. But people get upset when you call it a -105 promo because you might want to go to -110 and even on the other side when you move the price. But that's what it is. We're going to do that starting Saturday in every state. Mailbag?
So you're going to so people are going to bitch when the side they want to bet is -110, but
but then the other side will be even money.
Yeah.
That's a great deal.
If you like the other side. Okay. All right. John Hoagland. Hey guys, my phone is not turned on for over 24 hours. So if you send me any texts, I haven't been able to see it. Sounds like he had too much fun in Florida.
That's not the mailbag.
That's just,
that's
got it. That is
to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Really inappropriate.
Like I said, some people can't handle Florida. Hatcher TJR1 on X says, John, you are a Premier League soccer guy. Do you find any value in the English Championship League? If so, who's being promoted up and regulated down?
You know, I saw this question and I have to answer it. It's embarrassing. I don't follow that at all. I know I saw the question, but I mean, yeah, I could have looked at the table.
What? What do you mean you don't follow it?
The Championship League is the league below the Premier League. I don't follow it.
See, I don't know that. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I don't know. So I could have looked at the table and just picked the top 3 teams, but I don't know anything about it.
Got it. Next question. Danny
sorry, buddy.
X731. See, he's not the soccer guru you guys thought he was. 2 questions for John Murray. Do you have any sharp action to report on college basketball futures? And is Mo Salah the best player to wear the Liverpool kit?
Salah is he might be.
Salah? What is
most people would say Stevie Gerrard. Well, let's only talk about our generation. Stevie Gerrard. Nobody was better than Luis Suarez during the 2012 season. He was the best.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Well, the college basketball futures, I got some notes on that. Purdue. I don't like that coach, by the way. Have I ever told you that? I don't like Matt Painter.
You have mentioned to me that you have some disdain for Matt Painter.
I don't like him. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I can tell you because all the numbers have changed, but they bet Purdue down to 7-1 from 18. They bet Arizona down to 8-1 from 20. And then I have a question for Kelly because they bet UConn down to 10-1 from 18-1. Is UConn the best basketball program in the last 25 years? It's got to be. Has to be.
The last 25 years.
They've won the national championship 5 times. It's got to be them, right? Very impressive. They won it. Remember, they beat Duke in 99.
No, I don't remember that. You remember 1999? No.
That was like one of the great college basketball games ever. It was Rip Hamilton, Khalid El-Amin against Duke. Duke was a huge fit. Duke was like, there was 2 1 seeds. Duke was awesome that year. And UConn beat them. Jake Voskuhl, remember him? Oh, they won. And then they won 4 national championships since the turn of the century. 5 in the last 25 years with 3 different head coaches. Very impressive.
And didn't they get in a lot of trouble at one point in time? When was that? For cheating?
Oh, they got everybody cheats.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
AE Eighth Wonder. Oh, Eighth Wonder _ new. On X. When it comes to playoff football, how much do referees' records ATS do you take in your handicap? Some of these records versus specific teams are eye-popping. Crew for Rams Lions are 3-6 ATS for Rams games. Last one, this is really hard to read. Rep crew for Rams Lions are 3-6 ATS for Rams games. Last one was Rams Seahawks week 18 last year. Cheated them. Holy shit. Can John Hogan rewrite these?
We got to proofread the questions for Kelly. Kelly can't.
Kelly can't read this. No.
Well, I wouldn't look at any trend that's 3-6. I don't think that's enough of a sample to really catch my attention. The only time I looked at the refs was remember back in the 90s when the NBA would make sure that Jordan's Bulls teams won, or in the David Stern era.
I mean, it's happening still. Scott Foster versus the Suns.
Remember they would make sure that the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe won in the early 2000s. You had to look at stuff like that. They were not going to let those teams lose. But the NFL, I don't think they're corrupt. I just think they're incompetent.
Ooh. Vince in PGH on X says, which potential Super Bowl matchup would be best for business factoring in team popularity, fan bases, point spread, potential visitors to the Westgate?
Well, I mean, the AFC obviously is Buffalo Bills, right? I mean, of course, by far. The Bills would come out here with Bills Mafia. They've got a high-scoring offense. They've got a great quarterback. They haven't been to the Super Bowl in 30 years. Bills against anybody would just be huge for the city. I guess the NFC team, if you had to pick one, Dallas, San Francisco would be great.
Yeah,
too.
Unfortunately, it'd be the insufferable Dallas Cowboys fans. I think they'd be really great.
San Francisco would be great too. San Francisco's got a lot of fans. I mean, I think as long as we get the Bills, though, because Baltimore doesn't have any fans, and Kansas City
don't?
No, and Kansas City people are a little tired of them, right? So it's got to be Buffalo. Buffalo against whoever is the best.
Okay, College Picks 4 on X says, John, do you guys see sharp guys make bets on the 2024 College Football National Championship this early? If so, who are the teams that you see are taking bets?
You know, what we would see in the past right when we put these up was people betting the favorite for next season. Sharp guys, I should say. But now with the transfer portal and all these coaching changes, people don't know what to do. Plus the playoff now. We've moved Alabama from 6 up to 10. The big news: Nick Saban retiring yesterday, and we lowered Georgia from 4 down to 7-2. We brought Oregon and Texas each down from 10-1 to 8-1. Sounds like Dan Lanning is staying in Eugene. So we'll see. I mean, could Steve Sarkisian be on the move? Could he go back to Alabama? Be there? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't feel like.
I think Alabama should hire Lane Kiffin. Kiffin.
That's what I said on Twitter.
He's the modern coach. He knows how to play the game with the NIL and the transfers and all this stuff. He's built for the modern college game. Lane Kiffin is the guy they should go get. But we have not really taken much action at all on this yet. I don't think people know what to do with college football. Never seen this many question marks going into a college football season. Jim Harbaugh may be gone to the NFL. Nobody really knows what to do with this 12-team playoff that starts next year.
That does make handicapping the national championship significantly harder.
Good luck. Good luck, KIV.
Thanks. Braxton Dart on X says, how has the betting landscape and overall tourism changed at the Westgate since COVID happened? Also, with more states legalizing sports betting, is the Westgate seeing any decline in wagering? I think this is a crazy question. I had a conversation with an Uber driver about this the other night.
It's not because of COVID, but
it's not because they shut down the casinos for 3.5 months and then injected fake money into the economy, and crappy people came and visited Vegas for a year and trashed the place. Oh,
well, we had a great year in 2021. But yeah, I think you're seeing more and more people. They don't have to come to Las Vegas anymore to make wagers on sports legally, right? So people now are a little bit more inclined to stay home to make their bets on their app in states that allow you to register remotely without having to go into a casino or a bar or whatever. So I think that you do see some of that. But sports betting is more popular than ever.
Sports betting is definitely more popular than ever. Actually, this question got asked me this morning at the hair salon. Do you think AI will ever take your job? And I go, yeah, AI is already taking my job. Oh, yeah.
How
When
so?
all you have to do is type in Chat GPT, who's going to win between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs, and it spits out an answer that sounds pretty much like every talking head on ESPN.
But do they pick winners? You had a best bet on the Green Bay Packers.
Against everybody. Me against the world last week. I think the Sharp Groups went 0-3 and I went 3-0.
I like Chicago. I was wrong. You were right. You're smart. I'm dumb. We're going to do the shows on Thursdays now to have one extra day to see the stuff, the wagers coming in during the week leading up to the postseason. We're going to do a show next Thursday out of the divisional playoffs. Are we doing a show during that?
I thought we were doing a show Wednesday in Vegas because I have to be at Radio Row for Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl?
So that is going to have to be on a Super Bowl Wednesday.
What about during that harrowing bye week between the conference championship games and the Ref Bowl?
What's our contract say?
I don't know. We'll talk.
I mean, I guess we can talk about college basketball. Might as well.
Yeah, I like college basketball. All right, we'll be back next Thursday after the 6 wildcard games to preview the 4 divisional games. Kelly?
See you then.
Bye.